We are making a fantastic coffee cake. It is a pumpkin streusel coffee cake that to me, honestly, is very hard to beat. I find that this is like the perfect combination of like a tender crumb, a really delicious crumbly topping, and then we're gonna top it with just a little glaze to really send it over the edge. It is phenomenal. 'Tis the season for baking things. 'Tis the season for your kitchen and your home to smell really warm and inviting and phenomenal, and this is how you're gonna get there. I have yet to make one of these, which I've made quite a few recently, where they just don't fly out of my kitchen because they're that good, especially with a cup of coffee. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna do this with, just my whisk and a bowl and a spatula, but you could do this with, a whisk, a standing whisk. What's it called? An electric whisk. You know what I mean? A mixer, that's the word. I just find this to be easy. Oven preheating to 350. I've got my 8x8 pan ready and lined with parchment. I'm doing this by hand, but I really want to incorporate a good amount of air into those eggs. So I'm just going to whisk it really good for about a minute. That's going to help give you really good lift. Looking gorgeous. While whisking, I'm going to stream in my oil. Now you can use any neutral oil that you like. Avocado oil, a really light tasting olive oil. You could do a vegetable oil, a canola oil, whatever. You can also just do butter. I find that the oil works better for me. So that's why I'm adding that. And I just make sure to incorporate it into those eggs really quickly, just like so. And now that this is smooth and gorgeous, we're gonna add in the pumpkin puree. Make sure it's pure pumpkin puree and not pumpkin pie filling. They're really, they're sneaky about putting them next to each other, okay, in the grocery store. But you want to make sure it's the pure pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie filling, because that's already sweetened and it's spiced. We don't want that. A little vanilla, get those incorporated. And now I'm going to go ahead and add in my dry ingredients: flour, all-purpose flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, and some pumpkin pie spice. That's gonna give you all of that beautiful fall scent, and it works perfectly with the pumpkin. Just give it a few minutes to mix it in. And then I'm just gonna switch to my spatula in just a second. That looks good. You don't wanna over mix it. I'm gonna give you a quick little tip. You see how your parchment paper kind of tends to flop in like so? Take a little bit of batter. This works for anything that you're making, cakes, brownies, anything like that. Just a little bit back there. Stick your parchment paper on, tiniest little bit. It acts like wallpaper glue. You know what I mean? And now it's gonna stay and not go anywhere. I'm gonna pop this into my pan, and I'm gonna use the exact same bowl to make my topping. I'm not even gonna rinse it. I'm not even gonna wash it because, same flavor, it's fine. And there's really gonna be barely anything left in the bowl anyway, so I'm not really concerned. Just make sure you take a few seconds to make sure your cake is spread nice and evenly, your batter. Batter is ready. I'm gonna go ahead and make the topping, which is so simple. It's so easy, and I'm making it right in the same bowl that I made the batter. You just need flour, granulated sugar, brown sugar, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of pumpkin pie spice, and a small pinch of salt. And I'm just gonna mix it with a fork just to break down all those large clumps. Go ahead and add in your melted butter. And I just use my fork just to mix it. And you'll get this like really lovely and crumbly texture. Top that like so. Some of it will be a little chunkier. Some will be a bit more fine, but it is perfect and it works out so well at the end. And this just needs to go into your preheated oven at 350 for anywhere between 35 and 45 minutes. I've made this many times, and sometimes it takes 35, sometimes 45. So I'm not quite sure why, but that's the happy window. Make sure you test it with a toothpick. If it comes out clean with no wet batter on it, you're safe. And then let it cool completely. Just don't over bake it, otherwise it will dry out. So I'm gonna pop this in and I'll show you what it looks like when it's ready. Cake is ready. It baked for exactly 40 minutes. I've let it cool quite a bit, and it is just gorgeous and glorious, and I cannot wait to cut into it. But before we do that, let's make a really quick little cream cheese glaze that I just love to serve this with. All you need is some softened cream cheese, some powdered sugar. I like to add a little small pinch of salt. I don't add any vanilla here. You could if you wanted to. I feel like if I add the vanilla, it kind of takes away from the cream cheese flavor, and I really want that to stand out, especially against the pumpkin. So I'm just gonna work this in, and I'm going to add about a tablespoon or two of some milk just to get it to that perfect runny consistency. That looks quite perfect. You can do one of two things. You can glaze your whole cake, or you can do it slice by slice. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna cut into it so that you can see how gorgeous this is. And I like to think the ratio of crumb to cake is pretty perfect, if I do say so myself. Look at that. Look at how gorgeous and stunning. Literally perfect. I wish you could sort of feel that texture on the inside. It's like bouncy and it's tender crumb. It's just perfection. And then you do one of these. Ready? My mouth is watering. Then you do a little bit of that, because let's face it, it's the season. Okay? Season, if you want to go a little excess, it just feels right. It's a big bite. Do that. It's absolutely perfect on every level, flavor, texture, beyond. LauraInthekitchen.com for the written recipe. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.